Go ahead and call the Board of Public Works meeting September the 8th, 2020 to order.
I'm bringing it up on my phone.
Reading and approval of minutes last meeting.
Make a motion, we accept the meeting or the minutes as presented.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the reading, abstain from the reading and approval of the minutes of the last meeting. All in favor signify saying aye.
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 Opposed? Ayes have it. Payment of claims, $463,117.51.
Make a motion to approve the claims as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made, payment of claims is presented. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Regular payroll, $177,056.78.
Make a motion, we accept the payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to pay the payroll as presented. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Monthly payroll, $5,180.66.
Make a motion we accept the monthly payroll.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to accept monthly payroll. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it. Pension payroll, $87,790.02.
Make a motion that we pay the pension payroll as presented.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to pay the pension payroll. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Old business, seeing none. Moving right on to new business. We have a request from Carmen Carmichael from the Alpha Mu sorority to have the alley closed behind the First Presbyterian Church, 102 West Main, on September 26th from 10 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. They're having a Nelson Porta Pit fundraiser going on and requesting the alley be closed behind the church. Any discussion? Fire department seeing none? Police department? Do I have a motion?
Make a motion that we grant the request.
Second.
Motion been made and granted to close the alley on the 26th of September from 10 to 4:30 behind 102 West Main. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Next order of business we're going to take under advisement postponed till next Board of Works meeting. That was a request to approve the IT contract with Reliant Tech LLC to replace the current contract with Intersect by Dustin Kearns. Some problems come up and they need to be worked out before the contract's signed. So that part will be stricken from the report tonight. Next order of business.
Mayor, yes, Mayor, were you gonna make a motion to table that?
I can.
Make a motion that we table that until the next meeting.
Second.
Motion been made and tabled to the request to approve the IT contract till the next Board of Works. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Moving on to the next order of business is a request from Nicholas Inyart to have a 13-foot by 15-foot by 15-foot Tall Bouncy House on Saturday, the 26th of this month, next to Shelter House number 9 along the walkway. It will be marked private, so only invited people to the party will be allowed to use the bouncy house. Nick, are you here? What time is this going to be from and to?
The party's from 1 to 4, but I'll probably take it, the bouncy house there, I'm gonna pick it up at 10:30 in the morning, so, probably shortly after that until
Okay.
5
And
or 6 in the evening.
will you be taking it down right at 4 or shortly
Yeah,
after?
shortly after, yeah,
Say by 5?
yeah.
So 11 to 5.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do you have liability on that for the kids, so in case they get hurt and they don't get,
No, I can have, the, parents bringing the kids sign a waiver or something, I mean, it's a birthday party, but if that needs to be done, that's not a problem.
I think that'd be wise on the city's aspect. We know what happened with harvesting capabilities the last time, so.
Okay.
Is
Do
anything,
you guys have something that would be adequate that I can just have them sign, or do you want me to make it myself? I mean, just as far as what you guys need covered,
so we'll have some, and again, what was the date on this?
26.
26. We'll have something for you to sign, a waiver for you, but then you'll need something between you and them as well.
Okay.
Yep.
You can pick the waiver up on the 25th if we approve it tonight.
Yep.
So I'll just have to sign something for you, then like come up here and sign it, and then I'll have to write up something myself to have them sign?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Just saying that they don't hold the city or myself or both? Like,
Both, because you will hold the city harmless, and there'll be a waiver of liability between you and the city, and then there need to be a waiver between you and them holding you harmless, which, or holding, yeah, and hold you harmless, which ultimately, if they sue you, or they sue the city, we would turn around and
right,
add you to any type of lawsuit on there, and just protection.
right, I understand.
Yeah.
Have a motion?
Make a motion that we accept the request.
second?
Motion been made and seconded to accept the request with the added pick up the waiver and the date and time. All in favor signify saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it. Looks like you're gonna have a bouncy house.
All right, thank you.
Next rule of order. From Paul Betson and Denise Sims. They're wanting to amend the roadblock barricade time to 6 a.m. for vendor setup on 9/12.
Have vendors coming in, food vendors that need to get in, set up, heat up all their grease and stuff. Plus the farmer's market's with us. So, I mean, we could go ahead and shut the roads down for them too, so they can have their stuff ready.
What was the original, 8 o'clock was it?
I'm not even sure, but I know the party's from noon to 11 p.m.
Right.
We just had a couple vendors ask if they could come in between 6 and 7 and get set up.
What time's the car show start?
2.
2? Okay. And you're talking about setting up there at Main and Broadway, blocking it at 6 a.m.?
Yeah. Well, every,
All the intersections that you had
yeah.
previously applied for?
Yeah, we came in, Steve Anderson told us to come in and talk to you guys about it.
Okay. Fire department have any problem with blocking it off earlier? Police department have any?
Is the street department gonna set up the barricades, or are they doing it themselves? I don't recall.
Have you, talked with the street department to get barricades set up and stuff? And then they're gonna probably drop them off the night before and then you'll be putting them up?
Yeah.
Okay.
Make a motion to approve the change for the block party.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded, roadblock barricade time, move it to 6 a.m. for vendor setup on 9/12/2020. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, ayes have it. Next order of business. It's a request from Aces Plus at 284 East Main Street to business parking bollards, placing in front.
My name is Vincent Edmonds, and I shared this illustration with Mr. Crouch on the left and with Bill.
Hey, you know.
My partner Austin and I purchased this property about 4 years ago, and we are now at a stage that we'd like to renovate the building. And our challenge really is when we purchased the property, the owner told us that the parking went with the building, and we have shared parking with Harmon's photography studio, and Lux on the Main is the hair salon. But we maintain the insurance, we maintain the property when there's snow, I cut the grass, we remove cigarette butts, and I'm really afraid that someone will drive through the front of the building. There's no barrier in front of it. And a lot of times, as those photographs indicate, we have kids and we have seniors that walk in front of the building, especially going to the McClure's store. And some people just, because there are no lines there, they make up parking the way they see fit. And we would just like to be able to define that a little better. We're happy to share parking, but if we have to maintain it, pay for insurance, property taxes, we'd like to be able to not be in fear that a vehicle could go through the front of the building.
Right.
And we're very happy to pay for ballards, but we need your permission to install them. One other note, we've asked in the building department if there are any records of the city's egress for that property. And so far, I've just been looking at courthouse records going back to 1895. The owners of that property have used the parking space, and we'd like to maintain that.
How is it you share with Harmon Photography when they're down, because they don't have any in front parking?
That's correct. So the way the sidewalk works, they almost have as much space in front of their building as we do in front of ours, but it's on the curb, and so there's no parking allowed in front of their building.
Right.
Now, they've got parking on the side of their building and on the other side of Wayne Street, they have parking. And so they have at least 13 spaces compared to the 3 spaces that we occupy in front of them.
Was that from an easement grant or somehow?
Well, that's what we're trying to find out, when the city's easement, if one exists, would have occurred. As I mentioned, we've gone to the courthouse, we've gotten back to 1895 and the owners of that property, and it looks like all the owners used that front space. And so if we can find a photograph at the museum or anything that illustrates that, then clearly there's no easement.
Well, plus even using it out in front of your business would stop people from parking up on the sidewalk too. So, where were you going to place them at? Up by the sidewalk? to where they could still use the parking space?
Right, so it's kind of interesting the way the parking goes. One block over on Wayne used to be a store called Seeds of Hope. And so they have the same exact parking configuration. The exception is there's a curb. And so the parking literally butts up against the curb, and someone could actually drive over it, but you know, it stops at the curb. For our space, the curb doesn't exist. The pavement goes all the way up to the sidewalk.
Right.
So there's absolutely nothing to stop a car from rolling on the sidewalk, rolling into our building.
I was gonna say, one of your pictures there shows one right up where you can't even walk between the car and your building.
Well, that just happened last week, and unfortunately, in 4 years, we felt the need to call the police just to say there is a car parked on the sidewalk. Hate doing that, don't want to do it again, but, and it's not the owners of the business fault, you know, but their customers, there's no signage, and we'd like permission at least to put lines, parking lines, we'll pay for that, but we've got to do something to bring to the attention of the public that you just can't park on the sidewalk.
Would be something that a parking block would work, or a sign?
I don't know that a sign will work. Again, our fear is that someone will hit gas and not brake and end up in the front of our building.
So what they're thinking is that those round parking bollards, put those right there at the edge of the sidewalk, that would be a safety issue to keep somebody from being able to drive on.
Right, I understand.
They'll drive right over the parking curbs and stuff like that, you know, so that, I mean, the only other option would be, and this is something that we've worked with, street department with, they're saying that's still state highway maintained.
Right.
So the potential of maybe even just putting a curb there and doing away with that and making it all sidewalk, but this way they can maintain their parking, so.
Right, 'cause that's the unfortunate thing, this is state of Indiana easement, so,
But the,
we gotta be, as Todd could attest to, we have to tiptoe around that as what we can and can't do. We can't interrupt the flow of any type of traffic on that, so.
but we wouldn't, if he puts those up, it wouldn't really cause any issues because that's technically in the sidewalk area if it was all concrete, so.
I know that they kind of like to say that their right of way goes to your front door. That's what they did out here. We tore a few buildings down. I don't know if you remember that or not, Dustin.
I could barely hear you, Todd.
I don't know if you remember or not, when we tore some buildings down uptown,
Oh, yes, yeah.
they got it, hey, we control up to your front door these things, so, I don't see any problem sticking them there. I'm just wonder if I should call Dana Plattner, see what he thinks.
Wonder if this is something that we should postpone till the next Board of Works meeting and check with the state to see if they have any statute or,
Yeah, I don't think they will have a problem with it, really, I mean, but.
Mr. Edmonds,
Yes.
do you know, obviously it's asphalt there from where the curb cut originally, did you guys put that asphalt there, or did the state put that there?
The state put that there.
Yeah, that's been there, man, as long as I can remember. You remember when it was Razzle?
well, even when
Right.
Rasner's had it, that was the part.
I just wasn't sure if them as the property owners would put the asphalt back there, if that was something the state came in. So it's odd that the state would put asphalt in something they don't consider themselves as
Yeah,
owning.
see now, when they repaved, did they come in, they didn't come in there when that was repaved, did they come in there, they just cut it, didn't they? They didn't come into your, because you were there when 19 came through new, right?
That's right.
They didn't come in with the pavement, did they?
They did.
Oh, they did?
They did. I was surprised that they were
Yeah,
doing it. I
that's-
was actually really excited about it.
Because that does kind of change
Yeah.
in, none, with the
There, I
state
mean,
paying,
if they
state
put new
property.
pavement in there, they're considering that a parking
Absolutely.
spot. Yeah,
Yeah,
But yet they didn't stripe it.
no.
right, and we can't go putting parking signs on theirs without their permission.
Yeah.
But even if we didn't put parking signs, we
Even on
need
that one?
something to keep people from pulling onto the sidewalk.
I guess you could, on the sidewalk itself, even though it'd be within the state's easement, potentially put a ballard there, but I think it'd probably be wise if Todd contacted his guy down at NDOT. That way
I really hate to ask you to come back in 2
I don't
weeks,
mind.
but still,
Don't mind at all.
we need to do what we need to do and make sure it's right
Absolutely.
before we can give you permission to do something that's considered a state highway.
Totally understand.
So I'll entertain a motion to suspend this for 2 weeks to our next Board of Works
Make a motion
meeting.
to,
Give Todd time to check it out.
I'll make a motion, we put it on our agenda for the next
Second.
meeting.
Signify by saying aye. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for coming.
2 weeks,
2 weeks?
2 weeks.
Got it.
All right, next order of business. We have a request from the Chief of Police to promote Colton Pittner from the rank of patrolman to sergeant. I'll go ahead and read this letter. It says, "Dear Board of Works members, it is with great pleasure that I submit for your consideration that Officer Colton Pittner be promoted from the rank of officer to the rank of sergeant. Officer Pittner has served with the Peru Police Department for the past 6 years. During that time, Officer Pittner has worked in both the patrol division as well as the detective division, where he is currently serves as a detective. In addition to his work as a detective, Officer Pittner is a certified general instructor through the Indiana Law Enforcement Training Board and currently serves as a firearms instructor for the Peru Police Department. Officer Pittner has shown both knowledge and leadership in being considered for this promotion and will continue to be an asset to both the Peru City Police Department and the community, if approved. Officer Pittner will immediately begin his duties as the sergeant assigned to the detective division. Respectfully submitted, Dan Sofianis, Chief of Police."
I'll make a motion that we approve the request.
Second.
Motion been made and seconded to approve the request to promote Colton Pittner from patrolman to sergeant. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Last order of business, again from Chief Sofianis, is a request to promote Sergeant Rodney Richard to the rank of lieutenant. Dear Board of Works member, it is with great pleasure that I submit for your consideration that Sergeant Rodney Richard be promoted from the rank of sergeant to the rank of lieutenant. Sergeant Richard is an 18-year veteran of the Peru Police Department, beginning his career at the Peru Police Department in June of 2002. During Sergeant Richard's 18-year career at the Peru Police Department, he has served as a patrolman, patrol supervisor, detective, detective supervisor, SWAT operator, field training officer, crime scene investigator, generalist instructor, firearms instructor, and a narcotics detective. Sergeant Richard is currently assigned to the Peru Police Department Detective Division as a criminal investigator and is one of 2 current department firearms instructors. In Sergeant Richard's career and his vast experience, he has demonstrated great leadership and knowledge in being considered for this promotion. Sergeant Richard has already shown that he is an asset to both the Peru Police Department and the City of Peru. If approved, Sergeant Richard will immediately begin his duties as the lieutenant assigned to Detective Division. Respectfully submitted, Chief Dan Sofianos.
Make a motion, we approve the request.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to approve the request to promote Sergeant Rodney Richard to the rank of lieutenant from sergeant. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Congratulations to both of you. Under communications, I have nothing. Do you? Bill? You have anything?
Nope.
Audience have anything? City attorney have anything?
Nothing at this time.
We're up for adjournment.
Make a motion we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.